Time now on Central to roast the Christmas rabbit.
Oh, the ancient Yuletide carol.
The chances of kissing a frog which turns into a handsome prince are about 1 billion to 1. Whereas with only 1 million tickets and £450,000 plus in prizes, you have a better chance of winning on Littlewoods Instant Lotteries. Littlewoods Instant Lotteries. Game now on.
There is a country in Europe where for 2,000 years they've produced one of the world's finest wines. A wine matured for at least 3 years in oak casks. A wine so special, it is found in only one tiny region of this country. The name of this region? Jerez, in Andalusia. The name of this country? Spain. And the name of this wine? Sherry.
There's bags more fun in every bag of fun size.
Littlewoods Instant Lotteries, always thousands of pounds to be won.
Bill Murray and Bill Murray
Let's not mess with me tonight.
in a Sunday comedy double,
This is a robbery.
beginning with Quick Change.
What the hell kind of clown are you?
Then,
I smell vermin, poontang.
from bank robber to psychotic greenkeeper in the craziest sports club in America, it's the all-time favorite comedy, Caddyshack.
I have to live.
Bill Murray in Quick Change and Caddyshack tomorrow from 9 on 4.
Maybe I'll start my own Deadpool and put you on it.
You threatening me?
You want to play the game?
Clint Eastwood is Dirty Harry and the Deadpool after the news on Central.
Good evening. The news and sport from ITN. Tonight's headlines. Russia threatens to bomb Chechnya as the deadline expires. Shots are fired at the White House. Secret Service hunt the gunman.
And the Saturday night sports headline. Forest Stan Collymore scores at Old Trafford. United's record is over.
President Yeltsin's deadline for Chechnya to lay down its weapons has just passed. If the country continues to defy the ultimatum, the Russians have threatened to launch missile attacks and bomb the Chechen capital, Grozny. But tonight, an unconfirmed report says the Chechen leader, General Dudayev, has told Moscow he's ready for peace talks. Foreign journalists have been advised to leave Grozny, but ITN's Julian Mannion is one of the few to remain.
The Chechens are still erecting flimsy barricades at the entrances to Grozny. Their militia troops are standing by for combat with an enemy that outnumbers them, outguns them, and has complete command of the air. At the front line, where the Russian tanks are visible, there is little sign that they are preparing for an all-out assault. In fact, their troops appear to be digging in. It now appears that Moscow's strategy will be to expand the previous air campaign against Chechnya by bombing what are described as strategic targets in the capital. The threat to use air power suggests that the Russians are still reluctant to commit their ground troops to street fighting against the Chechens. Meanwhile, the majority of foreign journalists working in Grozny have left the city. The European Broadcasting Union, whose satellite dish has been transmitting pictures of the crisis to the outside world, has come under fierce Russian pressure to leave. There's even been a Russian attempt to jam the satellite transmissions. In the end, the threat of Russian airstrikes finally persuaded the EBU to close the satellite television operation in the Chechen capital. When this satellite dish is dismantled, the people of Grozny will be facing the might of Russia's army and air force without the world as witness. For both General Dudayev and Boris Yeltsin, the stakes are now so high that it may be very difficult to avoid further bloodshed. Julian Mannion, ITN, Grozny.
This is the meeting which decided on what Russia says is the last warning to Chechnya.
Deputy Prime Minister Nikolai Yegorov on the right is reported as saying Grozny will face missile and bombing attacks if tonight's deadline isn't met. The Security Council, chaired by President Yeltsin, who's said to be still recovering from minor surgery, appointed Yegorov and his counterintelligence chief to fly out for talks with General Dadaev to negotiate on disarming his forces. Throughout the day, Moscow has been issuing increasingly tougher warnings.
There might be clashes, there might be provocations. Russian authorities are suggesting that all the civilians, women, children and old people who are not armed should leave now.
It's now increasingly likely that Russia's forces